In this video, I want to show you how this one page brings in this brand 1.6 thousand people a month to their store and makes over $115,000 a year in revenue purely from this one page. Now, this page is for Tony Bianco, their bridal shoes page. So I want to show you that now and then we'll break it down. So Tony Bianco, they sell women's shoes and some other products as well, but mainly shoes, heels, boots, flats, and so forth. And you can see just off the bat, they've got a lot of collections: kitten heels, low heels, stiletto heels, and so forth. And the one that we're looking at is bridal shoes right here. This page, as I said, brings in 1.6 thousand people a month. It got up to as many as 4,500 in January of this year. But you can see at the moment it's sitting around 1,600, 1,500 or so. The page itself is quite simple. It's just got bridal shoes, which is their H1, I believe. And then they've got their product grid with all their different shoes here. And then if we scroll right down to the bottom, they've also got some content here, which doesn't look like much, but when you expand on it, you can see here they're obviously trying to hit their target keywords. So wedding shoes in Australia, elevate your wedding style, your perfect wedding shoes, designer wedding shoes, buy wedding shoes, so forth. So you can see they obviously built this page to target the keyword wedding shoes, which they're doing pretty well. And then if you go down here as well, they've got some internal links to other collections as well. So they're kind of doing all the on-page SEO stuff correctly, as you should, having all these collections, good anchor text, linking to similar collections. Now the thing here, right, a lot of brands have talked about this all the time because it's so common. A lot of brands will make a heels or a boots collection and leave it at that. And the same could be said here for Tony Bianco. These are all heels. These are all, I'm not too familiar, but like stiletto heels or short heels or whatever you want to call them, they're all heels. And so they could go effectively into, and they probably are, in the heels category. But what Tony Bianco do is they understand, and they've done the research to their customer to know that there are multiple terms like bridal shoes or wedding shoes or whatever it may be that their customers are looking for. And so they're making that page, so then their customer then ends up on that page and makes a purchase. So if we have a look at the numbers here, again, we're making assumptions, but I think they're pretty fair when we look at them. First of all, there's about 10,000 people a month searching for all the keywords that this page ranks for. So let's have a look at that quickly. So if I click keywords, you can see this is all for the bridal shoes page, which is that one we just talked about. Their main keyword, wedding shoes, has 4.6 thousand people a month searching for it, and they're in the 5th position. So they're not at the very top, but they're still getting a good chunk of that traffic. Bridal shoes, bride shoes, again, quite a bit of people searching for it, and they're in the 4th position and 1st position. And then we can see because of this page, they've got all these other keywords that they can then get a piece of. So wedding heels, nude heels for wedding, wedding shoes Australia, evening shoes for wedding, shoes for wedding. So there's all these different variations. And if you look at the volume column, that's how many people are searching for these keywords every single month. You can see it's well into the over 10,000 people a month searching for all these different keywords. Obviously, there's some pretty small ones down here, but again, look at the position that they rank for, this column here. You're in the 2nd and 3rd position for a lot of these keywords. So even though they're small, they are going to get those people to their site, and they're going to convert a lot of those people purely for having this page. Now, if they just had a simple heels page, then they're less likely to get those people in. If we actually have a look at that, and if I search for wedding shoes, obviously we've got all the sponsored things, we've got some popular products up here. Now, if we go to the organic listings, we can see here Bellini is a bridal page. So they've obviously made a page for wedding shoes. The white collection, that is their homepage, it seems, but they are a bridal shoe and accessory page. Forever Souls, wedding shoes. Bets, women's bridal shoes. And here we go, Tony Bianco, bridal shoes. So you can see all the pages that show up for this keyword, which has 4,500 people a month searching for it, are pages that are made specifically for that keyword, meaning that they are targeting wedding shoes as a keyword. So there's no, and if we keep going down, we've got bridal shoes there. The iconic women's shoes, heels. So this is probably the first one that isn't necessarily wedding shoes, even though it kind of does say here, actually, no, my mistake, it is a bridal shoes page, wedding collection. So we can see here, every single page on the first, every single website on the first page of Google for this keyword is a specific page made for wedding shoes. So again, this just shows you the importance of creating these different pages, because if you don't have those pages, you're not targeting those customers that are searching for it, and that's 4,500 people a month searching for this keyword. So you're missing out on, potentially, well, in this case, over $100,000 a year in revenue by simply not having that page. So as we said, there's 10,000 people a month searching for the keywords related to this page. Of that 10,000, they are currently getting 1,600 to their website. So 1,600 people end up on this bridal shoot page every single month. From there, and that's because they're in, roughly position 4 and 5 for those bigger keywords, and then position 1 to 3 for those smaller keywords. So again, they're placed themselves pretty well, and they're getting some good results because of it. So this is where we make a few assumptions, right? If we assume a 3% conversion, which is on the slightly lower end, but just because of the expensiveness of these products, they're $200 plus, probably converting slightly less people. So if we just assume 3% conversion, that's 48 orders a month to this store, or specifically to this page. Average order value of about $200. So as you can see here, if you look in, the products range from 200 to 220 or something. So if we be conservative, say 200, that's $9,600 a month in revenue just from this one page, which ends up being $150,200 a year. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you may notice that I'm kind of barking on about the same concept of creating new pages and creating collections based on the keywords that your customers are searching for, and going in depth, not just creating a heels collection, but creating bridal shoes, stiletto heels, short heels, whatever it may be that your customers are searching for. Now, this is because, as example right here, there's hundreds of thousands of people searching for these different keywords every single month. And so if you're not creating the pages for that keyword, you're not going to show up in Google. And no matter how big your brand is, you're always going to get outdone by these smarter brands that are creating pages that the customers are actually looking for. That's what SEO is all about, and that's what we do. We make sure that you have pages like this. We make sure that you show up for those pages, and then that is how we can add tens of thousands of dollars in revenue to your store every single month and every single year. So a quick one for you there. If you want to book a call with me, click the first link in the description. I do e-commerce SEO for Australian brands. And if you want to learn more about SEO, make sure you click the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, and hopefully we can show more people that SEO is an amazing way to grow your e-commerce store. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers.